It's time, America!
The other thing you mentioned is Lookout Mountain Labs. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, whoa, because I've come across that recently, and for anyone who doesn't know listening, it was a classified
in a good economy, instead of organizing economic life to keep a small sector of people on top and to enrich them beyond any sensibility, and to utilize productive apparatus even when it entails doing things that are a complete waste of time, building missiles that will never be used, on and on and on.
US military film studio in Hollywood, in the heart of, or in what you call Laurel Canyon, which ties into other things that you probably know. But for anyone who doesn't know this, it's the film lab there that the military had was the size of the big studios, but it was only declassified, I think, about the 70s or 80s, and it's
Instead of all that, we would produce and distribute for purposes of human fulfillment and development. You don't need all the advertising, you need sensible information, rather than people competing with advertising that has nothing to do.
Only really being reported, not many researchers have come across it until recently. And what I looked at they had several sound stages. They were making more films than all of Hollywood put together at one point.
Do with actually communicating what the benefits and costs of production are. You don't need all this military production, of course not. You don't need, nor do you want to generate all kinds of activity and product which doesn't make people better off.
This is like in the late 60s. They had so many different film people coming in, so cinematographers, editors, all that. But they would all be signing contracts to say it was classified to such a degree that they could never talk about it. Now officially, very
workers around the globe continue to struggle for workplace democracy.
Little of their films have actually been declassified, but supposedly it's just, what would you say, nuclear bomb testing, and then they would shoot that out in the desert or in other countries like Pacific Islands, and they'd let off nuclear bombs, and then they'd edit all that back at this.
And equal rights, mass production continues apace. Taylorism combined with human relations make up the cornerstones of worker management in the 21st century. In China, scientific management has taken on nightmarish proportions. So extensive is the division of labor that millions of people are forced
facility, but they've only ever declassified about 5% of what they shot there. So do you have any suspicions of what else they might have filmed there? Like, is it propaganda? Is it?
I assume it is. I mean, there were so many people involved in it. I mean,
to perform roughly the same motion thousands of times a day. In the United States, workers in some assembly plants are required to be in continual motion for up to 57 seconds a minute. In Indonesia, sweatshops owned by corporations like Nike chart productivity.
or the actors like John Ford and Jimmy Stewart and Ronald Reagan and Bing Crosby and Marilyn Monroe. But other people like Walt Disney, and of course Walt Disney he was working with the government to make propaganda films for.
Down to 1,000th of a second. In offices and service industries, corporations are increasingly resorting to video surveillance and computerized monitoring. One of Frederick Taylor's descendants, John Taylor Gatto, has rebelled.
The war, that was what he did, and from what I've read, he was also making porn, but I wasn't there. I can't say for sure, but he could kind of be bought from my reading. So.
Against his forebears' legacy. An award-winning teacher, he has also rebelled against the state of his profession.
The key is the word compulsion.
These people were working together and creating something that was obviously not just bomb test. I mean, why would they need Marilyn Monroe for a bomb test? Filming 100,000 square feet and all the.
The idea of drawing all children, all young people, into some universal program administered by the leader or the leaders is as old as Plato, probably older. But nowhere on earth was
stuff that they had there. And so some people have made some interesting speculations, like the moon landing film was actually filmed there by Kubrick, for example. I don't know, right. And then some people have claimed that there was traumatic mind control movies.
that able to be imposed until Northern Germany, under the military rule of the Prussians, finally imposed that in 1818.
Still there, I don't know that either. I don't really
Okay.
particularly trust those sources.
It just gets scary to me when you consider, like I saw one film that was shot there that wasn't, it has been declassified I think, but it wasn't bomb testing, but what it was is they were saying that US Marines were saving people in the Philippines.
So in the first, second decade of the 19th century, that is the first time. It was announced in other places, but never was it able to be successfully administered, because the idea
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it. Write for Pollution Booklet, Box 1771, Radio City Station, New York.
Very